Good morning. Welcome to the coaches meeting. I'm Grant Cohn. That's the coach. We're going to do things a little differently today. First of all, the coach has his own YouTube channel. I told you about it last week. I'm telling you about it again. Go subscribe to it. The link's in the description. Actually, we're simulcasting this show right now. So you could watch it on my channel. You could watch it on his channel. It'd be kind of cool if you watched it on his. But what we're going to do is, even though it's Thursday, we're going to break down some film. Because this is a coach's meeting, and I got a coach with me right here. We're going to focus on the Niners offensive line. We're going to focus on like the first quarter. And we're not going to start there, though, because that's a little academic. We got to start with like the entertaining stuff. Brock Purdy, #1 rated quarterback in the NFL after week 1 in terms of ESPN's QBR stat. I gave him a B+ after this performance, and people pretty much canceled me.
Right.
I thought it was I didn't like getting B+ in school. Let's be honest. It was kind of a backhanded compliment from the teacher. But what did you see from Brock in this game?
Well, you specifically, I feel like you weren't evaluating Brock. You were answering your critics.
Okay.
I feel like at some point, I feel like you looked at Brock with old eyes. And good on you. You know, you've seen more of Brock than us, right? You watched him throughout all of training camp. You've seen him through OTAs and mini camp, and you've been kind of giving us the bird's eye view, so to speak. So it could be hard for you to understand that everything that you've been seeing throughout the off season has just been a sample set of what's really going on, right? And when he started playing, you have to look at the fact that it's a bit of a blind spot for all of the processing that Brock has had to go throughout the summer, right? So for Brock to come in and go, 19 for 29, 220 yards, throwing for 100+ passer rating, no turnovers, coming off of a UCL, hurt, and
One turnover, no?
One turnover. Sorry, one turnover. Coming off the
sorry,
injury,
not to nitpick.
I'm not mad at you. No, you're doing your job.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's not a problem. Don't let people like
B+. I'm defending my. The thing is, as a teacher, when you get a grade, you can't be like, okay, I was wrong, I'll change your grade. Like, no, that's the grade. That's what you.
No. The grade is the grade. You have to stand.
Grade is the grade. Yeah, I gotta stand on it. Yeah.
You got to stand on it. So I look at it like this, Iggy. Like, for what you saw out of Brock, I kind of feel like you were just continuing your narrative of everything that you saw throughout the summer and just taxing it on what the game gave you. So you weren't looking at this as like a completely new atmosphere, whole new narrative, brand new level of competition. These people are not giving Brock any type of exhibitionist reps. He's not being able to go rep after rep after rep and redo picks and all of the stuff that we talked about. This counts. For him to perform like this on the road, okay? Wow. And to show not only that he can lead the team, but operate the offense. And, this is pro athletics. This is life. Fuck pro athletics. This is life.
All right.
Yeah. This is life. But you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You don't stay the same, right? And from what Brock showed us, you have to say that he got better. He's not worse than what he was the last time we saw him. Brock got hurt. We got to call it fair. We got to call it straight. He's not worse than what he was last year. He knows the offense. He's an actual captain. He's a leader on the team. He's processing at a high clip. And from the way I've seen the bedside manner from the coaching staff, I've never seen Kyle ingratiate himself with a quarterback like this. So you would have to say that.
How has he gotten better? What have you seen? How has he gotten better from this particular game?
Well, one thing he has, if I could even say it, he has more command. He has more command of this offense. I feel like he's a lot more confident in this offense. We did see a little bit of the reversing out of the back of the pocket when he gets chased down, and some athleticism, him displaying athleticism when he was rushed out of the pocket. Everything didn't go perfect. But for what you could have asked for, given what Brock is still a second-year player who still hasn't played a full season, right? So for what Brock is for coming into the league, you got to look at it this way. As weeks progress, if Brock, you got to figure out what he is. So if Brock, let's say he does the 200 to 280, that's his range, right? And he's completing 70% of his passes, but that's just who he is. But for where he is, it works. You know, everybody. Go ahead.
Keep going. Keep going.
You know, everybody and their mother is going to be saying that Brock is elite. They're going to, like, this is just football. Sooner or later, people are going to forget that Tom Brady has one of the most brilliant defensive-minded coaches and one of the most all-world defenses that he played with all of those years in the Super Bowl. People are going to forget about it. They're just going to say it's Tom Brady. You see what I'm saying?
I'm going to ask you some questions. You some questions. What would you have graded Brock Purdy's performance in this game?
I'd have gave him an A, flat out.
Okay. To me, it sounds like you're giving him a little bit of a curve. Like, you got to remember he's young and he's coming off a big injury, and there's these circumstances.
No more information that the Steelers would know.
Which is fine. Let me ask you some more questions. And that's a fair grade. And A, what'd you think of? I mean, I love his confidence and his command of the offense and his creativity and his elusiveness and everything he does before the ball comes out of his hand. When the ball is traveling from his hand to the receiver's hand, what do you see?
Average. The ball comes out average. I see the ball comes out accurate. The ball comes out with exceptional anticipation. The ball comes out on time, right, when it needs to. I see that he's changing his arm slots and getting the ball out in different ways. But as far as the ball in flight, average.
I guess the more specific question, a better question would be compared to what he was doing last year. Not compared to other quarterbacks, compared to Brock Purdy from last year. Is it too early to make a comparison?
It is. I think I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to.
You didn't see enough.
I haven't. Okay. It's way too small for me to see what Brock is doing, throwing the ball as far as like his arm health and the talent of his arm. Knowing what he came off of. Huh?
That's fair enough. But I think that's something to keep monitoring his zip. And then I got a couple more questions. Sure. He put the ball on the ground twice. Does that concern you?
Yeah. So those are the things that concern me about Brock, the physicality side of the game. So when he gets touched, when he has to be a football player, so to speak, when he's just on his own, it's cool when Brock is moving around with gossiper wings and he's making everybody miss. You know what I'm saying? And he looks amazing. But when he gets touched, he needs to get on the ground and protect the football and protect himself as well. So one of those things about Brock getting on the outside is that he just has to make the decision of whether I need to dirt nap this play, I need to can it, I need to throw the ball away and live for another down, or get the ball downfield, or if I need to be athletic and make something happen. But what I do know, and this happened with Trey, it's going to take some more games for him to feel out just how athletic he can be versus, the NFL's elite on defense. So once he gets outside the pocket, I understand that he's moving, that he looks dynamic and he has really good quickness and elusiveness. But as we saw with Aaron Rodgers, it just takes one play.
Yeah,
it takes one.
Agree.
Play.
And it's like he also threw a pass that Patrick Peterson dropped, but like I feel most quarterbacks throw at least one pass in a game that's intercepted or almost
week one. You got to get. You can't.
And he also completed 2 touchdown passes. Like I'm not knocking him so much for that, but putting the ball on the ground twice. I'm not saying he's going to do that every game, but to your point, it brings up questions about his physicality, what happens when he gets hit, and also on one of those strip sacks, like the TJ Watt was really close to raking Brock Purdy's surgically repaired elbow. So every time he gets hit, you can't deny that you're like, is he okay? Is the ball gonna? I think that's an issue with him.
Your heart does skip a beat a little bit when you're watching him get physically manhandled. I mean, if you want to be honest about it. But Brock is getting paid to be a professional football player, right? And he's gonna have to learn how to protect himself on the field. So I understand that it is.
He got like 20 more games this year.
Yeah, it is up to Kyle to put him in the best positions possible. That is Kyle's job. But it is also Brock's job to understand his limitations or just how far he can go with what he wants to do athletically. And I feel like he'll fill that out.
Here's where I'm at. You tell me where you're at, and then we'll move on from Brock. I mean,
All right.
I'm open-minded. I feel like my brain is telling me he's not quite gifted enough to win a Super Bowl on any team. But my heart is telling me to be open-minded here. Don't write him off, because look what he's doing. Look at how much success he's had. And on this particular team, with this coach, and at his particular price point, like, he's not making any money. Maybe he is good enough. Maybe he is good enough with McCaffrey and Ayuk and Debo and this defense. Sure. So maybe the question more is, can they keep him healthy? Can he stay healthy? He's got to do this 20 more times. Maybe that's the better question. Yeah. Because remember, like, I was thinking about this with the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. When he was really young and he wasn't making a lot of money, he was more than good enough on that team. And then he started making $35 million a year, and then he wasn't quite good enough at that price point. I don't know. Maybe Brock Purdy is good enough right now. This team is incredible.
Well, I mean, the sum of the parts that make our team are incredible. I wouldn't necessarily say our entire team from top to bottom is incredible.
Well, no.
We've got some depth issues. And to be quite honest, we're a little imbalanced fiscally, and it is showing on the field. And we're going to touch on that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple of super chats, and then we'll do that. Marty Doberman says, you think McVay tries a timeout before Moody kicks? I don't know. That seems such. I don't know. Are people really around the league looking at Moody that?
I mean, he got iced for his first field goal attempt of his career.
It's crazy. Yeah, it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the icers, Quana says almost no one imagined Brock Purdy be playing week 1, much less so adeptly. Elite, though, no. There are 12 quarterbacks I'd rather have, and I'm not hating. So that's fair. I feel like a lot of people were saying, man, like, he's so ahead of schedule. You got to factor that into your grade. And I didn't. And I was transparent about that. So that's fair.
I also look at it this way, too. If you're willing to say that Brock Purdy is in the middle of the pack in year 2 without starting a full season, that's saying something more about Brock Purdy than it's saying about you. Than it's saying, that's looking good for Brock.
No doubt. Absolutely. At this point, Brock just needs to stay healthy and not hold the ball so long all the time. Yeah. So we watched some film.
Let's watch some film.
Let's watch some film. I mean, as we say, like, the big question for this team might not be the quarterback. It might be the right side of the offensive line. Can they do anything well? Run block, pass block. Obviously, they got to keep the quarterback healthy. But right now, it doesn't look like they're doing a whole lot well. So let's break down, like, the first quarter of this game.
Okay.
We're going to be focusing on 74 and 68.
Right.
Let's see what – I mean, it's a pass. Okay, go ahead.
All right, right now we got a pass right now, and we got 4 in the box, so this is traditional. They kept in 5. Christian's going out. Christian's not staying in the block, so go ahead and start this from the beginning. So, Banks.
Do you want this slow motion or you want this regular motion?
You can give me slow.
Okay.
So Banks is going to come out. Aaron Banks is going to be detached, and he's going to be looking for paint. He's going to be free.
Yeah.
Right now, you got McKivitz. You got McKivitz taking TJ Watt. So right now, we're looking good. We're sitting here. We're detached. So go ahead and play, Grant.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Keep going. So that right there is good. It's a stalemate win for Spencer Burford. Cole McKivitz held his own, and we did good on our center. Now, is this the same play? Keep going. No.
Yeah.
Go ahead and play the beginning of the play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. So go ahead and play. So one thing that I do have a problem with Spencer is that it takes him a hair too long to get out of his stance. If you just run back and just run it, he's the guy that's tapping the center, even just to alert the snap, and he's always the last guy out of his stance. He protected his inside first to look for the inside move, and then once guy committed outside, he went out and detached to use his hands. So that's good. That's a win. as far as Brock getting the ball out on time. Now, that's the first play of the game, right?
Can I see something? Can I say something I noticed?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone's doing a good job of playing with length except McKivitz. Everyone's got their arms out except for McKivitz lets TJ Watt right into his body.
Yeah, well, he opened
look
up.
At Burford. Look at Trent Williams. I mean, even Brendel, but like McKivitz is not using any length at all. And then he's going to get discarded real quick. Boom.
Yeah.
Quick throw.
So that's a win for the offense, though, Grant. That's a win for the offense.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at McKivitz to 74.
Right. So I want to get to the next play. Let's get to the next play. All right. So I think this is the toss to Debo.
Yeah. This used to be their bread and butter 2 years ago when they had Tom Compton and McGlinchey out there. Go to the right. Sweep to the right. Okay, here we go. Okay.
So let's run it.
Watch 68 on this play. Kivitz. He's going to climb to the second level?
Yeah, McKivitz is going to climb to the second level and try to get outside. So watch 50 and McKivitz, and he's got a good angle. So look, he's waiting on stop, Grant. Stop. All right, so Spencer and Cohn are supposed to be working up to the top to this linebacker 50. All right?
Yep.
Now, when they're working to the top, you got to see right now that Cohn has already got a bad angle. If you look at his play side foot, it's already on the inside hip of, it's angled on the inside hip of the play side defender that he's trying to go block. So when he's coming out on this angle, he's coming out a little too slow. He's laid off of the switch or the double team. And instead of getting low, he reaches and lunges and over leverages himself to get out. As he reaches, he whiffs. All right. And as he whiffs, that's who stops the play. He has to cut back inside. And we're good to go.
I think Burford does a pretty good job of walling off this defender 99.
Yeah, he did a great job of walling off his defender. The thing about Spencer is that once he gets chest to chest or he gets a body with you, he's okay. It's just his pad level on getting to the second level and his feet and his hands. So we can this is
a troubling rep for me though for McKivitz. Like this is a big part of their offense, the outside run to the right. And I mean, they're going to need someone a little faster than that.
Yeah,
like, Tom Compton could really get out there.
Yeah, that's the thing about Colton is that Colton is going to struggle in space, especially on outside zone and toss and sweeps where he has to get out in space. Is this the same play?
Yeah, it's crazy. They have three angles, man. Have you noticed that? They got the all 22, and then they got it from both end zones. That's crazy.
It's very weird.
That's cool. Anyway, Colton again, just a little too slow. Let's check out the next play.
All right.
Let's get it from the end zone.
So right here, we just get no push.
Yeah.
Watch, if you look at Spencer actually gets washed out of the scrum, if you look at it. And the problem is that if you think about it, Trent is really the only guy. Trent and Aaron are the only guys who are right here. Now, what Trent is doing right now is that he's blading through and just trying to get as much real estate as possible to get some type of movement. So you almost have to route him out. And Aaron Banks is doing the same thing. But if you look at from center over to the right side, Spencer delivers a blow, but that's all. He gives up as soon as he gets contact and he's standing straight up.
Yeah, right?
And as he stands straight up, watch the lower man wash him off the scrum. Just play it real time.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do it. Here, watch it again. 74, stood up, moved to the side. Yeah. It's kind of like along for the ride. Yeah.
And he's just washing him. And let's pause it at the very end. Pause it right now.
He's like turned around.
He's on the back of the
Yeah.
scrum. Right.
Yeah.
And that's almost kind of picture yourself trying to move a tree.
Yeah.
And the tree ain't moving, but you just gonna walk around it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. I think this is the same thing.
No, this is the next fourth and one.
All right, so this is the 4th and 1. Run this again. Run that back, please.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is this angle cool with you?
I'm fine. All
right.
So we got split backs. All right, and this is a good rep.
Yeah.
This is a good rep.
The ball's coming out quick.
The entire offensive line. Ball came out quick. And this is more or less the beautiful part of what we can deal with on that right side is because as far as pass blocking is concerned, They do have sound technique. I will say about Spencer is that if you get Spencer on smaller defenders, switching where you have to get him in space, he's fine. He'll actually fight and show athleticism. It's the problem where you get Spencer at the point of attack where he has to be strong, right? Where he
and that's why this offense, everything seems to have to go to the left. It's a very left-handed offense.
Yeah.
For this reason, passes, quick passes, runs.
All right, so let's go back. That's why I wanted to start on the front, the end zone tight. Go back to the end zone tight real quick on that last play. So we're going tight from the end zone.
This is the end zone. Is this not what you wanted? You wanted the last play?
Facing them, not behind formation.
Okay.
All right, so this right here, pause it. Look at Spencer's stance.
Yeah.
All right. And look at his knees and how his knees seem to be jutted to the inside, almost as if he's got his heels off of the ground, right? Yeah. And it seems as though that he's got a lot of weight on that offhand that's off on his knee.
Yeah, Aaron Banks looks he's more like
look at Aaron's stance.
Back. Yeah.
Look at Aaron's stance and look how balanced and stable he is. Look how stout. Yeah. Even Trent. Look at Trent's offhand on his knee. Look how relaxed that knee that arm is sitting there, right?
Yes, true.
Where it looks like, and Colton's in a 2-point. If you swiped,
he'd fall.
Spencer Burford's hand away from that stance, he'd fall. And a lot of that is due to the fact that I don't feel like he trusts his power. I don't feel like he trusts his anchor, and I feel like that's a stance that's been engineered for him at that position. That's the best thing that makes him feel comfortable on the inside. But go ahead and play it from there.
Because remember, he was an offensive tackle. Probably didn't do a lot of 3-point stances. Okay, so he's going to try to.
So right now, he's trying to reach over. Okay,
57. He was trying to get 98. Good job so far. Although
no, it's not. So go back. So he's good, and this is what I mean. Pause it. This is what I mean. When he comes to the party, he comes. You know what I'm saying? He brings the right angles, good hat placement. His hat is on the play side. Right. He didn't let the defender cross face, but he just doesn't finish. And a lot of that is because if you just keep it there, you see the back leg. He's bent. He's got good pad level right now. Yeah. And really, he's under his defender where he could ride him out. But look at his pad level in the next 3 steps and tell me what happens to 57 and watch his backside arm. Go ahead. Oof. He's in the right mode. He's good. Now look, get off me.
Off me. Like Keep I'm just going. Stronger than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm bigger than you. Yeah. I don't even know what 57 is.
Right. Now in the guise of the play, that's a win, right? But we're going to keep going, and we're going to see how linebackers feel.
This is why they got to run left. This is why all their good runs for the last year and a half have gone to the left. I mean, Aaron Banks, nice job. Oh, also, Brandon Ayuk. Watch Brandon Ayuk cracking down on 55. Nice block. Hell of a block. Hell of a block. I mean, that really makes the play. 65, 71, and 11. Well, and Ross Dwelly kind of catching his guy right there.
I mean, look at Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks is doing a good job. But he's just not finishing. I mean, this is a good job, but sometimes we get to these points where these runs are so fast, they're like stock blocking. They just want you to wall off and get in the way. Here we go. Run this.
Here we go. Inside zone to the left.
Now look at Cole Holcomb. Look at Cole Holcomb on Spencer Burford. Now look at Spencer Burford. He's gonna come up behind 5'7", right? Now watch Cole Holcomb jack Spencer Burford's head back.
Bap. With just the left hand.
Just his one arm.
Yep.
Get off me.
What do you think? What do you see from 68 against 98?
Run it back. Posted and discarded. But the thing about it is that but what saves Colton is that his feet, he still is in good position. So even though he's not parallel with the line of scrimmage, he still keeps his feet parallel with the play. So his shoulders turn, but he keeps his feet there, and that's what saves him. So
but then look at Brendel and Banks at the point of attack. Just so good. Brendel turns him. Banks, that's a big hole.
That's a good job.
And you got Ayuk finishing.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, they have they definitely have their moments, but it's just there's times on that right side where things just get suboptimal.
Let's keep going. I'm enjoying this. Keep right side.
All right. All right, so this is where he shines. I want you to run this play back. So this right here is impressive, and this is the touchdown play.
Yeah.
So watch Spencer Burford close on Minkah Fitzpatrick's.
That was really good.
Now Christian comes down, and I love Christian McCaffrey. Watch how Christian McCaffrey comes down to the line of scrimmage to meet him. And look what he does to Colton McKivitz. He damn near comes down so hard to meet Minkah Fitzpatrick to help out Spencer Burford. He knocks Colton McKivitz on his ass.
Yeah,
that's a great job from everybody. And that's really why Spencer is on the field right now. Is because a lot of guards, if you think about it, he pinned down to help. He pinned down to help Jake a little too much. But he caught himself. And he missed on his help hand, and he still had enough athleticism to get over, and Christian made him by taking over more of him. So even really, if Christian doesn't get a piece of him, Spencer still has enough inertia and momentum to keep riding Minkah up the field. But that's just a good blocking initiative.
Let's do one more drive if you don't mind. We'll speed it up, though. All right. So you got 74 out in space. Here's an interesting play to me because it looks like 74 and 68 go to get the same guy. No one gets 50. 68 and 74 going to 55. No one getting 50.
Run it back.
Yeah, and 50 gets in there.
Yeah, so really, that's a missed assignment. That's an MA by Spencer Burford.
I think so.
Or
that's got to be Burford. No?
No.
Or should Brendel have gotten out there? Maybe Brendel should have gotten
Spencer Burford. Spencer Burford should have comboed up. But he had nobody in front of him. He didn't have paint, so he should have just came straight up and got him. So that's a missed block. But also, really, look how Cole Holcomb disengages for Spencer Burford once they get locked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gets him off of him right away. And it's like, why? For me, I don't understand why Spencer gets to the second level. It's like, do you guys remember when Trent first got here? And he combo blocked up against
destroy people.
When he got to the second level against the Cardinals, it's like, bro, use your size. You don't need to be going up there and playing patty cake. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So go ahead, run this play.
Show a little bit more violence, Spencer. Here he is with that. It's kind of awkward.
He laid out of his stance again.
Yeah.
You're the guy tapping him. How are you the last guy out of your stance?
That's true. Look at this. Look at that. His hand is still on the ground.
He's laid out of his stance. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So keep going. Under center, I form, 12.
Trying to go to the right. Let's see what happens.
What we got.
Toss to the right.
So this is what I want you to see. Now pause right here.
Yep.
Now that's Keanu Neal. Okay, that's a safety.
31 on 68, right?
All right, that's a safety on our right tackle. Watch how Keanu Neal engages and replaces. Engages and replaces on Colton McKivitz.
Yikes.
Now just run it.
And then watch 74 on 55 again.
That's a hold.
Almost hold.
Yeah. So in that
hit him harder.
Hold on, Grant. That was the first run from under center to the right in the entire game. It was a penalty, and Keanu Neal,
dude,
he took him out the club, got him out the club. So, and what you got right here is go back to that play. What it is that you see Spencer, he doesn't trust himself. He doesn't trust the space. So instead of going to where Cole Holcomb's going to be, run it back, he flattens that angle instead of getting out there. Watch, he goes straight to him. He wants to get out there, but he goes straight to him.
Yeah. And then holds him. And then McKivitz just loses immediately to a safety.
He choked off that angle and he had to hold him.
Oh. All right, let's finish this drive. See, this is why the Niners are so left-handed on offense, because of things like, so we got 1st and 20.
Yeah.
Here's what they do here. Hey, look at the pass off that stunt.
That's a good switch.
Nice.
That's
okay.
a good switch.
That was good. I like that. One more time. Give him some credit. Working well together. 74 pushes him over there. Boom.
He was a
nice
little
job,
over leveraged. His chest is a little too on top of his knees, but he's good.
Okay.
So go back to that tight view. I think I just saw something. Yeah. Go back to that when they're getting down. And yeah, let him get down. So look at that right heel up for Spencer.
Yeah, why?
He looks, but doesn't he look more erect? Like he knows he's about to pass block. Versus when he's about to run, he's hunkered down and he's almost kind of like squeezing his body in. But
maybe that's the tail Patrick Peterson was talking about.
Yeah, that's a good switch. But you could see that he was more he had way better weight distribution on that rep.
He did. Now watch. Another pass block.
See, now this is Spencer's problem. So,
yeah, let's see from the other angle. Here we go.
Yeah. So, Spencer, from what I've seen, he seems to be good with quick defenders, DBs, linebackers. But if you get anybody his size or bigger, this is where there's a problem. So, immediately he panics. The first thing he throws is his hands instead of his feet. So, go back. So, he comes out, he sets, pause. So, he sets out too much, right? He oversets. Mm-hmm. And the defender gives him the inside move. So, what he should do is he should fight to get that play side foot parallel with the line of scrimmage to keep his torso parallel and to redirect his arms. But because he's open, and I don't think he necessarily can control the power that he's trying to handle right now, he's going for a ride. So really,
he is.
The biggest thing for Spencer is that he needs to be able to create a base win at the point of attack, because if he gets any type of larger or adequate, it's a very good throw. That's what I'm saying, man. You was on Brock, man. That was a nice look, bro. Hey,
Brock.
I watched the film, bro, man. That was Brock did not do bad, man.
With a guy like in his face, takes the hit off his.
That was a hell of a throw, man. There's nobody on our roster who can make that throw.
Peterson too. Nice pass pickup from Patrick Peterson too. That's not easy.
It's a hell of a throw. It's a hell of a
play.
Throw.
Yep. All right. Let's finish this drive. We got to get people hate film. I like film.
I love film.
I love film. All right. I'm still watching the right side.
This is good.
Colton looks like he's on a ride all the time.
Yeah, but he's fighting though. Like he's an imperfect vessel.
He does fight. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
So he's got good hands. He's not giving up the inside. As an offensive lineman, you got to protect your inside first. Mm-hmm. And he showed toughness. He's got good feet, good balance, and if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I like the hold at the end.
Dude, Purdy gets smacked at the end.
Yeah. Watch the help from Spencer though. Go back.
Yeah, that was key.
That's such good help from him.
Yeah, that changed everything.
He worked from Brindle to Colton.
Yeah.
That's good help.
Play. That's a completion. That's crazy. All right, moving on. The end zone view.
Mm-hmm. That's a good rep. Oh, now let's go back to Jake.
Takes another hit.
Yeah.
Let's check out Banks on this one. Oh, Brendel.
He did good. That's a good rep.
Cam Hayward.
Now that's Cameron Hayward. That's one.
Yeah. Yeah. 1-on-1. Yeah.
Two, what you have right here is you got Jake Brendel getting redirected. I'd like to see the back view to see what his hands are doing. That's good. So he tries to go high with his left hand and he gets redirected. Cameron Hayward pushes his hand off. He tries to rip and swim with him. He tries to swim him.
Dude, he hits He is pretty right in the knee, man. Yikes. Whew.
He got him
Football's crazy, man. Yeah. No, I mean, not a dirty play, but scary stuff. Okay, next play. Running to the right.
This is a bare front.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a hell of a rep from Spencer Burford. Look, his man was lower, but he still kept his feet moving. Even though he gets choked out a little bit, but still.
Yep.
Like he keeps his feet moving and routes his man out of there. Like that's the type of fight that you want to see out of him. But the thing about it is that
outside zone.
Look at where his hands are, though, when he's doing this. His hands are in the inside. And you see he redirects his play side hand. Go back and run that back. He even gets his hand on the outside, and he knows he's in bad real estate, and he gets that hand right back on the inside. So even with the defender being lower than him and still using one arm is longer than two, he's still being able to handle his assignment because he keeps his feet moving and he puts his hands in the right place.
I see. That was a nice rep. Nice.
That's a good rep.
Ooh, no. This was the one. Let's see it from the other angle. Same drive. What was it? What was the tell? Because Patrick Peterson is all over this. Sees it coming. Knows what's coming.
He waited. He's waiting.
He knew it.
Like
he knows it. What is the tell?
I mean, not to get on because I'm an old line guy, but you can see that you could see in his mind he's saying no, not now, but now.
Yeah.
Well, look at how he's looking.
He knows this is the dig to Kittle right now. Right now. Why? How does he know? What is it? I'd love to know.
He sees it now.
Yeah. I mean, like he
let George run the route.
He's trying to bait it. He's trying to stay over here. He's trying to bait it, and as soon as he knows it's an in-breaking route.
Well,
he's all over it.
To be real with you, that is a mayonnaise and cheese sandwich release at the top of his break. I mean, can you get? I seen better breaks than that at tight end U. George was doing better than that at tight end U.
Can you give a little head fake? Can you give a little?
Can you give me something at the top of your like?
Yeah,
that, I mean, something.
All right, let's keep it going. Oh, Spencer pulling.
So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Like now. That was a bad rep from Spencer. So if we go back to the type from the back, pause. Look at Spencer's play side foot. It doesn't go anywhere. Look at his left foot. He literally picks it. He just pivots his foot and doesn't gain any ground with that foot. He's not.
Yeah, you want to like steal second base here. You want to.
It's a lazy move. It's and that's what I'm saying. Just the technique.
Take a step.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't expect. Look, everybody takes a step and you pivot. You know what I'm saying? You're behind. You're late.
Keep your head down. Keep your head down.
Yeah, and then he catches him. You could tell that he was looking for paint. He finally saw it, and then he just gathered himself to try to get in the way. It was a bad. That's not even a football move.
No, and he falls off. Eesh. Yeah, I'd have to say that maybe 68 is better than 74. Okay, here they go. Trying to run to the right. Let's see.
Let's go.
They combo 68 and 74 on 99.
They're leaving TJ for juice. They're coming up on 50. Okay. Christian tried to make Spencer right. Spencer couldn't get his head on the right. He couldn't get his head on the other side, on the play side.
No.
So Elijah tries to make Spencer right and cut on the inside of him.
But
really, what you want is Spencer to work his way around that defender. You could even see Aaron Banks go back to that play, run it. You could see Aaron Banks. Watch Aaron Banks run, push the shit out of Jake Brindle to get up top. He's telling him to get the fuck out the way. Like,
look at Jake Brindle slip a trip on Spencer Burford.
Nah, he ain't triple Spencer Burford. He got his ass pushed.
Yeah. All right.
Aaron told Jake to get your ass out the way.
Okay, a lot of quick throws. I mean,
they know.
Yeah, they know. 65 gets beat here. But the ball comes out real quick. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
the one
throw,
thing I
Brock.
will give Aaron credit for is he is who he is till to the day he dies. He gonna stay rooted in that ground. If you beat him, you beat him. But if you run into him, he'll give you a fight.
For sure. All right.
Let's see what we got. Here we go. Look at here we go. So there we go with that chop down stance. And look at what comes first as soon as he moves. What comes first? His hands, his feet, or his head? Go back. Look where his hands go.
Down.
Right. He's bringing his torso first instead of his feet. He's lunging.
Yeah, he is.
Even on that naked rep on air, you can see like the steps that he's taking. He's not even taking good technique steps coming out.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You need a good 6-inch step coming out. And I don't know what that play was, right? So I can't say that it should have been a 6-inch step if it was inside or outside zone. But it's going to be a labor of love on the right side.
It's a nice rep for them.
It's a good rep.
It's a nice catch for Tebow.
It's a good rep. It's even better catch.
What a catch, dude.
Yeah, that's a bad ball.
Man. One more time. It's not a great ball, but hell of a freaking catch.
I mean, he's looking right at the fucking pass. I don't know how that didn't get picked off, but that was an even better catch. It was a ballsy throw.
Dude.
He's looking at him the whole time.
Yeah. 55. What are you doing, dude? Don't let him. Nah. Good try. Great. I mean, nice job, Brock. I can't knock it.
Football's a beautiful sport.
Can't knock it. All right, this is going to be about a touchdown throw in a minute, right? What we doing? Okay. Toss to the left. This is where all their good plays go. Not this one. Why? They just can't block
George
everyone.
Gets beat. That's Trent.
No one blocks 54.
George got beat.
Okay. Yeah, he sure did. All right, let's get to this touchdown throw. Then we'll get back to the show.
Look at Spencer on this play.
Yeah, let's check it out.
He's just too elongated. He's like, look how far he's reaching out, and when he gets those arms, I didn't see that. Never mind. Woo! That was kind of nasty. Even though that was a touchdown play, they got to be pissed about that.
He gets picked off.
That was a sexy stunt.
Wow.
Woo! That was sexy.
He got smacked by TJ Watt. Ugh.
That was nasty.
Oof.
That was nasty. They got to be pissed that they wasted that stunt. It's not. That's a great ball.
Not even bad coverage. Yikes.
That's what I'm saying. Iggy, like a B plus, bro. Come on, bro. You wildin'. Look at that throw, bro. And look, he's staring. Like, look. First of all, look at who's in his face when he throws that. You see that fucking goblin coming around the corner?
It looks like it's in slow motion. Oh wait, it is.
Yeah, you try to. Iggy, that's a
all right.
That's a dime, dog. That's a dime. You can't. I love the game too much to not say what I see. That's a dime.
That was dope. Loved it. Let's take a look real quick. Just a second. Where we at? Boom. All right. Let's look at the BetUS odds for week 2. If you want to wager on the 49ers or anyone, any sport, any game, go to BetUS. Use the link in the description. Use my promo code, and they will match 125% of your first wager. Let's check out the 49ers. Where are they at?
Where they at?
All right. -7. Line's gone down a little bit. They're -8. -7 over the Rams. You like the Niners to cover that? That's a lot of points.
Yeah. -7? Robbery
7.
game? No. That's a lot of points.
It's on the road. I just feel like the Rams have been getting blown out by the Niners like routinely for years.
They're due.
They can't run the ball. They're due.
On the road.
I think I would probably pick the Niners to cover that. The Jets, the Cowboys are -9 over the Jets. Yeah, I can see that. The Dolphins are -3 over the Patriots. That's an interesting one. I feel like the Dolphins have as good of an offense as the Niners, but their defense, I don't know what to expect. And the Patriots are kind of underrated. Who you like there?
I like the Dolphins.
In New England. Okay.
I
like the Dolphins too. I like the Dolphins too. How about this one? Seattle plus 4.5 against the Lions in Detroit. Wow, Seattle. People jumping off that
Detroit?
bandwagon. Yeah.
They're going to Detroit. I'm going to the Lions, man. The Lions are like the hot new thing. Like the Lions are nice.
Okay, Packers going to Atlanta plus 1.5.
Pack.
I like Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is good. The Eagles minus 6.5 at home against the Vikings.
Eagles.
I agree. How about let's do one more. Okay, the Bills minus 8.5 over the Raiders. The Bills.
Raiders.
Coming off that game. Yeah, I like the Raiders to at least cover. 8.5 for Josh Allen, who's in like
that's disrespectful. Josh, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. Josh Allen is kind of getting to that area of kind of needs to start doing something before we start like giving him the cachet. Like enough is enough.
All right. Well, if you want to make any of those wagers, go to BetUS. Click the link in the description, and use my promo code. Thank you very much, BetUS. Let's talk about the Shanahan coaching tree. This was forwarded to me. I thought it was interesting. Mike McDaniel was doing an interview yesterday. He was asked about, coming from the Shanahan coaching tree, and what about that tree and that system enables players to get so open. You know how McDaniel does. He goes on like a whole long lecture, like he's doing a seminar at Yale, which I really
likes
appreciate.
To have a little symposium.
Yeah, like his weekly interviews are like 25 minutes. Not
they're
like
long form.
And they're really cool. And so he goes all into it, but he's very careful with his words, and he mentions, the Mike Shanahan, coaching for Mike Shanahan and being mentored by him, and he never ever references Kyle Shanahan, which I think was intentional. And maybe some people think it's no big deal, but I also think it gives a cool little backdrop for what this game is this week. Kyle against McVay. Eventually it'll be Kyle against Mike McDaniel. These guys look at each other as peers, not necessarily as like Kyle as someone who's above them. I think they're all competing to be who is Mike Shanahan's heir.
Right.
Is it going to be his son? Or is it going to be one of his adopted sons? I kind of get the feeling that McDaniel almost looks at himself as like an adopted football son of Mike Shanahan.
I know he really
and maybe
does
more worthy
Mike.
of the title than his own son. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, Grant. I know I know he really respects Mike. He thinks the world of Coach Shanahan. He looks at Coach. I mean, everybody looks at like their mentors that way. I look at the guys who gave me a chance, right? And they saw something in me and showed me the ropes, and kind of, the same thing is in journalism. Like you and your dad have a special relationship. It's not just because you his son, but it's that you guys share a professional likeness. You know what I'm saying? Where he has mentored you outside of just raising you. He knows what you're made of, right? Some of the SOPs and how you even go about your job is because of what your father has instilled in you, and not by just telling you, what you actually got to see the man do, right? And that's how coaches feel about their mentors. That's how mentees feel about their mentors. In a way, you would almost say that when people do try to reference or talk to Mike McDaniel, that is, and try to reference him being under Kyle Shanahan's coaching tree, I think that him correcting the record isn't really a slight or have anything to do with Kyle at all, but I think it has a lot to do with his respect for Mike. Right? For him to let people know, like, Kyle was my colleague, right? Like, Kyle and I worked together. Right?
Yes.
Like, Kyle brought me along in opportunities he had, just like 80% of everywhere that somebody works, you got there by reference because you know somebody that worked there, they have an in with the company, and they got you hired.
But also, from McDaniel's perspective, Kyle wasn't doing him a favor.
No.
I think from McDaniel's perspective, maybe Kyle was, I don't want to say it.
Sharks are born swimming, Grant.
Taking credit. For some of his work.
They don't have room for anybody to be on a coaching staff just because he's just there or because he just knows a guy. It doesn't work that way. right? Especially
Yeah.
when you don't have cachet or you don't have a famous last name. Those are for the people with the last names in football who get to just show up and be around because they've always been around. But if you're not blooded in, meaning that if you don't have a family member or some type of person that has legit cachet or legacy with the NFL, it is 1000% a meritocracy. All right, it is 1000% about how. Go ahead.
Remember that podcast from this offseason, the play callers were about the four guys, McVay, Shanahan, McDaniel, and LaFleur. I think the way it was packaged is like, they're all part of the same group and they're all pulling for each other and they're all a family. Like, I get the feeling it's much more competitive. Like, they're all come from the Mike Shanahan coaching tree and they're all trying to make the point that they're the one. They are the best. And it's like each one has their little claim to fame. McVay has a Super Bowl ring no one else does.
Bro,
LaFleur is in the process of developing Jordan Love, which could be the feather in his cap. And then Mike McDaniel and Kyle Shanahan seem to be like battling it out for premier play designer. And I think McDaniel thinks he's better. And I think that's a very interesting perspective. I'm sure Kyle thinks he's better too. I don't get the feeling that McVay thinks he's a better play designer than either of them. I think McVay knows what he does.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of McVay, and I think that's why out of all of them, he's the only one that's won. I feel like
he takes his ego out of it a little bit more.
Sean
out of the play
not
design.
only takes his ego out of it, but I feel like Mike McDaniel is taking more of a page out of Sean's book than he ever would have out of Kyle's, especially with his bedside manner and how he deals with his teammates, how open he is, how much he's a servant coach. He leads first with how.
Also, remember the first thing McVay did was hire Wade Phillips, the old head, to run the defense, just like Mike McDaniel brings in Vic Fangio. Like no ego, man. Like, I know you've been a head coach for a long time. I want a fellow head coach on my team.
And Coach Phillips, even like I remember years ago, Coach Phillips on record said that this is probably one of the best jobs that he's ever had in his career because of how respected and well liked he was on that Rams staff. So
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, man, they may be cordial, but nobody's hooking up on the weekends or Thanksgiving or Christmas to go kick it. Kyle's got too much time in Cabo. He's ain't no time to be messing around with his real colleagues. He's got too much time kicking it with his teammates. So
yeah,
it's not necessarily anything that's surprising to me, but yeah, like I know that bothers people. That would bother me if I worked with you and somebody was like, yeah, I am a part of the Grant Cohn content creators tree. I am. But if somebody came to me and said that I was of something, that this guy was like my equal, I'd be like, no, like I worked with that guy. He didn't put me.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember when Kyrie Irving was on the Cavs and someone asked what it was like to have LeBron James as like almost like a father figure to him? And he was like, man, that's my teammate. I have a dad. Yeah. I have a dad. His name is something, something, something. Like, that's my team. And I think that's what, now Kyrie isn't exactly a winner, but I think that's why he wanted nothing to do with LeBron after a while. It's like, man.
Yeah, because being with you means that I got to be under you. I can't just be with you. That means that I have to be in a subservient role to you because you take too much air out of the room. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even the fact that the people around you do it. That's cool. You can't control them, but you lean in. You like that shit.
Yeah, and I feel like McDaniel has that chip on his shoulder that Kyrie has, and I feel like McDaniel looks at Kyle the way that Kyrie looks at LeBron. Like, man, you took all the credit, you minimized me, and now I'm going to go elsewhere and show everyone that I was the real genius. And I just want to say, his offense scored more points this week than Kyle's. And I think most people, at least most Niner fans, would say that Purdy's better than Tua. So just keep in mind, watch what they're doing in Miami. That's a pretty good offense down there.
Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. We essentially ended their season, right?
Yes.
The Wolves were falling off, and we are the ones who drove in the nail in the coffin.
Correct.
Yeah. I will say this. They look a lot better. Tua looks in shape. He did a lot of stuff over the offseason. Hopefully, we'll know what's going on with him later. But everything means something, and something isn't everything. So it's kind of like, you can't say that it doesn't mean anything. It does mean something. But does it mean everything? Of course not. So we'll see. But like we talked about over the offseason, now we get to see what other teams were doing over the offseason. We weren't the only teams with an offseason trying to get their team better or reporting on the team. So we're going to see that week to week, man. Like
I
Dallas.
do want to point out that these 4 guys, McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur, McDaniel, all of them did a great job week 1.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep.
All of them won. All of them put up at least 30 points.
And the Rams are doing it without Cooper Kupp.
Yes, they are. So why don't we get into the Rams offense real quick, and then we'll take the last of the super chats, and I'll go to work. What do you see from the Rams offense? Like, they can't move the ball on the ground. They haven't been able to do that since Todd Gurley messed up his knee, and yet they don't have Cooper Kupp, and yet they scored 30 points.
Well, they got a good receiver. Look out for this kid. I forgot his name. I've watched the
Tutu Atwell or Nakua?
The other kid, the latter, Nakua.
Let me get his name.
Get his name. I don't want to butcher his name. He deserves the right. He deserves accuracy.
Puka Nakua, excuse me. Puka
Nakua is very good. Long athlete. He basically runs the exact same route tree as Cooper Kupp. He's not as fluid or as polished as Cooper Kupp, but he's faster than him. And he's got more juice. He's younger. Now, what that means, it means that, all right, Matt Stafford to the Rams is what CMC is to the 49ers. He is literally what everything is made for. He's the guy. And so much so that's what the whole entire offense is too. For us, we like to start the ball on the ground, and we use the run game to utilize an attack passing game through play action and waggle and trying to get the ball out. The Rams are quite different. They use the run so they can get right back to the pass. They love passing the ball. And Matt Stafford is back. He looks at the time that he had against Seattle to just sit back there all day the way he did and just carve them up. I don't think he'll do that against us.
Yeah.
But as far as who they're facilitating, it's all about Matt Stafford. Now, their offensive line. All right. They suck.
Let's talk about it.
They just
suck. They can't run the ball.
They cannot run the ball. No. So it's so annoying.
No matter who their running back is, which is strange.
And they have good backs. Like they've got, all right, as far as their skill is concerned, they got really good elite skill, especially on the edges. Them boys can get elusive. They will make you miss. All right. But as far as they offensive line, they're long, they're tall, they're stout, but they are weak as hell in the run game. They don't use their hands. They wall people off. They barely, just if you just optically look at the line of scrimmage from the side view every time they run the ball, you never see the blue jerseys moving back the other jerseys. Like just not even football wise, just look at the line and how it moves. Yeah. They get no movement up front. And really what they do inside the tackle, they don't like running the ball in between the tackles, but what they do, they try to run off tackle. And they've got backs that once they do get to the second level, they're a problem. Now, they don't have guys as good as our running backs, but their ball carriers, once they get to the second level, that's when they get special because they can get in the open field and make things happen. Now, going from sideline to sideline, like running outside zone, running 18 and 19, that ain't what they do. They cannot get outside. Right? If they run the ball on the outside and get up the field on us and like actually turn the corner on us, I would be surprised. Seattle was routinely outrunning them to the point of attack. They were getting there first when they were trying to run sideline to sideline. So with our defense and our linebackers, I don't see a problem with that at all. Now, everything that I've said about them running the ball, they are equally as good in pass protection. They're really good. So that's where the real issue comes in because they communicate very well. I mentioned that they're long, so they have really good surface area. All right. They cover a lot of ground. They communicate. They have good hands. All of them have long arms and good feet. And they're sudden. They're not fast. I just talked about how they're too slow to get to the outside. But as far as pass blocking is concerned, in a phone booth, these boys are quick and they move and they all move with technique. So you never see the stuff that we just looked at on film with us, where guys get beat by technique or they get beat by bad angles and then they just abandon technique and start chasing after guys. That doesn't happen with them. And Seattle has a good enough defensive line to make them do things. Now, I will say this. Seattle still does not have good interior run defense. And the fact that the Rams had a hard time. Go ahead.
Let me ask you the question about this. We know the Rams have a good right side of their offensive line. Noteboom, Havenstein, been there a long time. Good players. Left side is all new. They got Steve Avila at left guard. He's a rookie. And they got Alaric Jackson at left tackle. What are you seeing from them? 77, 73.
Left tackle is it's going to be a labor of love there. He's not necessarily polished. He's a fighter. He is very athletic as far as what pass pro. All right. Yeah. He's got good feet. He's got a good torso. He will get beat. He's going to get beat by it. He's not on Nick Bosa level. He's going to get beat. But I will tell you this. He has a really good motor. When I did watch their game, he was still moving with a lot of dynamic movement and a lot of good foot and hip movement. His power angles was still really good. And that shit looked like the first quarter. So he's got a good motor. He does not get out of shape. So everything that Nicky does get against him, he's going to have to earn. For the left guard, he's a baby, but he's got good size. He's an actual real guard. So he's got good girth, okay? And he's got good hands. It's almost like he's got enough to make it happen, right? As far as like using his technique and using his pad level in good hands. And he's heady. I never saw any like bad plays out of such a young player, but he's just not strong enough yet.
He was their top pick in the draft this year, 36th pick in the draft. He went to, where'd he go? Steve Avila, where are you from? TCU.
He's not that strong. And TCU's not a ball heavy team.
Nah, it's a spread offense thrown around, which is what the Rams have become. So it's interesting. Like the Rams are very much a one-dimensional team. They've been that way for a while. They won a Super Bowl that way. Cooper Kupp to me is on the downside of his career. I mean, he's
coming.
He's 30, and he played 9 games last year. I mean, people are so quick to pour dirt over DeAndre Hopkins' career. What's the difference? Anyway, that's the way I look at it. But you know, they got a couple. I mean, Tutu Atwell's nice. Nakua's nice. Their quarterback's really good if he has space to throw. I just wonder, like, is this Niners newly revamped pass rush going to dominate the game?
Well, this is the game.
Throw 3 picks. Yeah.
I'm excited about this game because this is the game where I don't know if we're necessarily going to find out anything out about our run defense, but we sure as hell going to find out about that secondary this week.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Absolutely.
Matt Stafford's going to be able to, he's going to test our metal. And those linebackers, he's going to test our metal.
You're saying Kenny Pickett didn't test him last week? Is that what you're saying?
Of course.
Are you taking a shot at Kenny Pickett?
I'm taking a shot at the Pickster.
That is so rude. Why?
There's no way he did anything good against us. I mean, but at the same time, a lot of that, you can't just put it all on Kenny. He was under duress. So we'll see. We'll see.
Was. And Stafford's going to be under duress, and I think he's going to turn the ball over a lot. And that's why I think I probably would pick the Niners to cover that 7-point spread. Shout out to BetUS. Hot Dog, I'm not saying that. Says, do y'all think Niners make a move for Brian Burns after Drake Jackson got 3 sacks in week 1?
No way in hell.
How about no? Elite Archer 23 says if Purdy is good enough because of the talent on the team, then you have to say that about every quarterback that's ever had talent around them. Be consistent.
All right, so if Purdy is good enough because the talent on the team, well, that's the thing. The talent on the team is going to have to do. I hope they know what they've done by naming him a captain and essentially, turning him into the boy king. Is that now? You can't turn right around and say we lost because of Brock.
No.
No,
he's a captain.
He's a guy.
Bay Drummer says,
you know what I'm saying?
Seeing Burford this active in space makes me think he should be the right tackle.
All right, so look.
I don't know about that.
Hold on. So I had a conversation with somebody who we know about this, and they made the same comment. And Spencer is more athletic than Colton, but Colton is huge. He's like 6'5", right?
No, he's taller than that. I think he's like 6'6".
6'6". Yeah. He's huge.
Yeah.
So I think the real issue is that you can't use Colton anywhere but tackle. But I honestly think that Spencer's athletic enough to be a tackle, and he should be. Look at Ilm. You mean to tell me that you don't look at Ilm Manning and look and see Spencer Burford a little bit? Come on.
It's a good point. I mean, Spencer Burford's still like 6. I mean, how tall is Spencer Burford? Let's get it. Burford.
He's like 6'3", 6'4".
No, he's bigger than that. Hold on. He's 6'4" and 1/8 inches. Now let's check Trent Williams. Trent Williams.
6'4".
How tall is he? Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Trent
Williams is 6'4" and 5'8", so he's a half inch taller than Spencer Burford. Half inch. That's it.
I mean, I would try Spencer at tackle. He's quick enough.
What's his length? What's his length? He's got
his arm. How long is his arms?
35-inch arms.
He's got huge arms.
Now let's look at Colton McKivitz. What's his length? Colton McKivitz.
He's got to be like 6'6".
Yeah, Colton McKivitz. He's 6'6" and 1/8 inch, so he's a little bit taller. But his arms are 33 3/4 inches. So
short arms.
He's got less length. He's got less length than Burford.
And he's taller.
And but that height isn't really doing him any favors, and
Well, one thing when you do run back that film, you know that Spencer is faster than Colton.
No doubt.
He's much faster than him.
Ty Bud says Brock Purdy having weapons should not be a determining factor to lower his grade. All quarterbacks need weapons. Look at what happened in KC, 75 drops. QBR. Okay, Ty Bud. Gave him a B+. I want you personally.
Right, you didn't kill him. You didn't kill him. But you know everybody was waiting to hear what you had to say, though. You know that.
Yeah. Sorry that it was only a B+. Josh Wyatt says, question for coach. If the Niners get a right tackle at the deadline, who sits down, Spencer or Colton? Spencer did project as a guard when he first came out.
If we get a right tackle, then I'm sitting the right tackle. Colton McKivitz will be an amazing swing tackle for us. If we got a right tackle, that was better.
For Life Niner says, Grant, spell I hope as fast as you can.
We're not going to hope that you pee.
I'm good. Ty Bud says, Coach, what's up with your setup? Wrong cam? You're looking, I don't know.
No, I'm looking at the monitor while I'm talking. My camera's right here.
Okay. Right. Ty Bud says, Coach, Grant is on the D-line. This dude is a super fan. Grant, I'm snitching you out. Next time I'm going to tell you, Daddy. True story. I put that on your credentials.
So you saying you a secret fan? You on the DL?
on the down. Reggie 1981 says, I hate life, LOL. Reggie.
I hope that gets better for you, man.
Reggie, come on, man.
Reggie, let me
Stick
talk to
it
you,
out.
Reggie, you're going to be all right. Okay.
It's 12:16 on a Thursday, man. You got the rest of the day. Things could get a lot better.
Tomorrow's Friday, bro. Come on.
We're going to have so much fun together.
Together, Reggie.
Together.
Me and you. We'll be okay, Reggie.
All right. So the Niners, they're going down to face a divisional opponent. They're wearing their red jerseys, real disrespectful. 7-point favorites.
It's a home game.
Nothing bad could happen, right? This is all good.
Look.
Easy.
Look, I'm going to say this.
I'm picking the Niners to cover. I don't think anything bad's going to happen, right?
You think we're going to cover 7? What you think? So they got a 7?
Yeah, I don't think the Rams are good at all. I think that the Seahawks completely imploded last week. And this NFC West could be terrible. Or maybe I'm just totally overlooking Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. Could be. Hey, man, real quick.
You get in your sarcastic bag. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Off the top of your head, name 3 players on the Rams defense. Just 3.
Bobby Wagner. Wagner.
No. He's on Seattle.
I'm sorry. See, that's so true. I was about to go to Seahawks right away. Aaron Donald.
Taylor Rapp? I don't know.
They still got that guy?
I don't even know. They got a guy named Byron Young that they drafted this year. Like, hey man, maybe they got a bunch of no names, but I just feel like.
See, this is the thing. I haven't watched. I watched LA's offense this year. I haven't watched AD, so I gotta watch. I gotta watch the defense, and I'll let you know tonight or some shit.
I'll name you. Here's their starting lineup. Okay, shout out when you've heard of someone.
Okay.
Jonah Williams.
Yes.
Bobby Brown III.
No.
Aaron Donald.
Okay.
Michael Hecht.
No.
Christian Roseboom. Ernest Jones IV.
I feel like this is the episode of Key and Peele.
Byron Young. Hey, yo, Akello Witherspoon. Akello.
Right. Woo! Spoon!
Hey, Taylor Rapp isn't even on the team anymore. Russ Yeast is the starting free safety. Okay.
Having the last name Yeast is wild. That's so wild.
I mean, I'm telling you, man. If the Niners lose to this team, it's a huge problem. I don't care what they did last week. I don't care.
They can't lose to Baba.
No, they're definitely going to win this game, and they know it, and they know it, and they know it. Matthew Sanders, butt whooping, about to hit like a hurricane out of Seattle. Pretty much. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Coach's channel. The link is in the description. Make sure you like this stream because it was the best stream you've ever seen. I'm
Good
going down to Santa Clara.
stream.
Good stream. See you guys
Good
later.
stream.